The year was 1895. Wilhelm Röntgen had just discovered X-rays. In Salt Lake City, a dentist, Dr. William H. Groves, confided in physician and friend, Dr. Joseph S. Richards, that he intended to donate his wealth to build a library in Salt Lake City. Dr. Richards, who was treating Dr. Groves for a heart condition, convinced the good dentist that a hospital would be a better investment. Dr. Groves' health rallied long enough for him to rewrite his will, leaving his estate to establish a hospital in the foothills. It would be known as the Dr. William H. Groves Latter-day Saints Hospital. The hospital was dedicated on January 4th, 1905, and few, if any, at the time knew the facility was destined for great things. Today, LDS Hospital celebrates 100 years of service, a milestone achieved by few healthcare institutions. The hospital treated 987 patients that first year. The same year, a nursing school was established to supply much-needed nursing care.
If we got our caps, we went to special capping exercises. We held candles, being symbolic of Florence Nightingale's lamp, that the flame had come down through the years to us.
Growth of the new hospital was constant, and in 1913, the east wing of the hospital was added.
1922. Yeah, I was born there, and my grandfather was Dr. Stephen L. Richards. He practiced at that hospital. He started the Salt Lake Clinic.
The west wing of the hospital was added about the time that Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin in 1928. The church continued to operate the hospital during the Great Depression. Times were difficult, with many physicians operating without pay. By 1941, almost 12,000 patients were treated as America was drawn into World War II. Many physicians, nurses, and staff went to war, while other employees were siphoned off to more lucrative jobs in war-related industry. Remaining doctors and employees had to double up to keep the hospital operating.
We went through so much together. World War II was hard. Polio was hard. During the war, a great number of the RNs were in the service. It left every hospital in the country at a loss for nurses. Student power came to the rescue through the Cadet Corps, and we had long hours.
I think my first memories of LDS Hospital were those that I received as a medical student. And it was wonderful to be able to come up to the LDS Hospital and operate with men like N.F. Hicken and R.T. Richards and Floyd Hatch.
For some reason, something started to come together in the 50s, even, I might say, hospital management.
Following the war in 1946, Clarence E. Wonnacott was appointed administrator of the hospital.
Clarence Wonnacott and Ray Rumel, who was the first heart surgeon, came down to see me to see if I wouldn't come up and establish a cardiovascular laboratory, a diagnostic laboratory. That was in the very early days of heart surgery.
Part of what has made LDS Hospital significant beyond what it might have been just as a community hospital is the vision and the willingness to do creative things.
When Russell Nelson came to the LDS Hospital, it was because they gave him a research laboratory.
I performed the first open heart operation in the state of Utah in 1955, and that was done at the old Salt Lake General Hospital down on 21st South and State. I came to the LDS Hospital 4 years later. It started as a community hospital, but it developed into a tertiary medical care center.
Utah's first hospital volunteer group began at LDS in 1956. Their cheerful pink uniforms earned them the name Pink Ladies. A $10 million expansion project was completed in 1959. It included the 7-story central wing. LDS set foot on a path that would shape the next 50 years and beyond. That path was medical research.
The first ICU was developed at LDS Hospital in 1954 by the thoracic surgeons. And this is really a true milestone because most hospitals, even academic university hospitals, did not have ICUs in those days.
And we were the first Department of Medical Informatics in the world.
And because of the research team in the pulmonology division, Dwayne Schmidt, Alan Morris, and all the rest, the research they did was second to none.
The LDS Church had been a successful operator of community hospitals that included LDS Hospital. In 1975, however, the Church determined that the operation of hospitals was not central to its mission and generously gifted the hospitals to the communities they served. Intermountain Healthcare was created to manage the hospitals.
The gift that the LDS Church made to this community of those hospitals in 1975 was almost unheard of.
Yeah, I've thought many times about the charge that the LDS Church gave the initial board of Intermountain Healthcare to become a model health system. But it's really happened. Intermountain Healthcare and LDS Hospital have become nationally and internationally recognized for clinical excellence.
LDS Hospital as the flagship and Intermountain Healthcare have embraced that charge and really feel an accountability, not just to the LDS Church, but also to this community, to be that example, to be excellent, and be a leader in this nation on how to provide health care in the best way possible.
We have a great sense of mission and responsibility, we being the management and the board of trustees of Intermountain Healthcare, to perpetuate that.
Be careful what you dream because dreams come true.
It is not possible to measure the human impact of the first 100 years.
It is pretty remarkable when you think about it that LDS Hospital has maintained its mission for such a long period of time.
I'm absolutely amazed at where we are now.
I think the people in 1905 would be shocked. I think they'd say, wow, what kind of a place is this?
Who would have predicted, even when I graduated from medical school in 1967, what the technology and everything would be like today is just incredible.
I'm really proud of what LDS Hospital has accomplished in this first 100 years, and I am excited about the next 100 years.
I probably won't be around to see it, but personally I wish it well.
One thing I believe will always remain common, I hope will always remain common, and that is the caring and concern of the caregivers.
I hope that we will never lose sight of the fact that even more important than what we have done is what we have become. That we individually and collectively stand for integrity, progress, compassion, kindness. If we ever lose that, it won't be LDS Hospital anymore.
Right now, it's hard to die. They're so good.